Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in our Business and Buzz segment, brought to you by Caldwell Soames, we're featuring the amazing David Santiago, an award-winning designer and owner of Casa Santi Interior Design. His signature trademark, Strictly Santi brand, was created to be as diverse as his repertoire of talents. He is a guest designer on the NBC hit television series George to the Rescue and design and lifestyle correspondent for The Donna Drake Show on CBS's New York. He's the artistic director for myface Celebrates, now myface.org, amazing company dedicated to transforming the lives of children and adults with facial differences. He's one busy man. Now, interior design is said to be the art and science of turning the interior of a building or home or any space really into a healthier and more elegant environment for the people who's going to be using it. Now, interior design is a major part wherein a customer would want to entirely redecorate a home or workspace to bring out the value of homes and other spaces. It is very much necessary to get along with the best interior design services. An accurate and well decorated house can very easily show off one's taste, standards, and lifestyle. Now, the market indicates a growing trend of personalized and customized interior designing and has prompted interior designers to offer innovative designs which maximize space and ensure no wastage. It's all about sustainability. Today, David is here to chat all about his amazing career, interior design, and his latest plans. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you so much, superstar.
So happy that you're on. Okay, let's get to it. So, if all of your accomplishments in interior design were not enough, you're also an accomplished classical opera singer, an alumni of Maine's College of Music, and your debut concert at Carnegie Hall back in 2020, to my understanding, sold out. You've been on stages at Lincoln Center and performed with Teatro Grattacielo and New York City's opera, among others. How did you discover your talent and love for opera? Not a genre that most people find themselves falling into.
Great question, and thank you for starting with that. I was studying theater. I wanted to be an actor. I thought I wanted to be on television, and television led me to the stage, and I want to get formally trained. So I was studying at HB Studio in the Village here in New York. And the short story is I ended up doing a musical at a high school because my friend's sister told their music teacher that I was an actor and I wanted to be in their musical play called Calamity Jane. So I got cast as Wild Bill Hickok after the show. She said, David, you should go study voice, study, profession classically, and get some musical education as well. And that quickly led me to fall in love with classical art songs and opera, early music. And the voice teacher that I was studying with encouraged me to audition for the program at Mannes Conservatory, which I did. And I ended up getting accepted. I got a scholarship.
Wow.
And the rest was history. I mean, truly, I immersed in the world of opera because I had an insatiable appetite, and my voice started changing, developing from musical theater to the classical sound that we need in opera. And that's the short version of how I ended up becoming an opera singer. And
Fascinating.
Yeah, and I got the bug.
And I love it. So now you're president at International Furnishing and Design Association, the New York chapter. How did you find your passion for interior design after pursuing an education in music?
So design came first. It became basically a trade and a job. I was working at Calico Corners selling fabrics and custom window treatments. And that truly was the beginning of my journey into interior design. When I started my own business, I wanted a connection with the design industry and the trades. And there's several organizations, and the IFDA was one of them that I took a leap of faith and joined. And shortly thereafter, got involved on committees and became a board member and grew right into the position of becoming the president. And it's an asset and vital tool to connecting and networking within the interior and home furnishings design industry.
So well calculated, my friend. So well calculated. Now, you're also the artistic director for myface, myface.org, dedicated to transforming lives of children and adults with facial differences. Talk to me about myface and why you got involved. What was the motivation behind that?
So I love this story because my design world and music world basically led me to this point. I have a client and the president of my face was talking to me about a talent show that the kids were doing for a fundraising event. And basically he said, David, you should check this talent show out that we're doing at My Face. The kids are brilliant. They're good singers, instrumentalists. You love kids. My kids love you. You love music. You need to just listen and check it out. And I did, and I fell in love with the kids and I fell in love with the talent. And then I asked, how can I get involved? And soon thereafter, I became a mentor for the next My Face Celebrates fundraising event. And truly, that's where I fell in love with the organization and what they do. Taking care of babies and newborns and watching them grow into young teenagers and kids, and through all these life-changing procedures that the organizations provides was a big milestone for me to getting involved. And now three events later, 2.5 years later, I am involved with the organization, and we're doing an event at the Edison Ballroom on March 15th coming up, celebrating all of these extraordinary talents and the organization.
Fabulous. So motivation. It's motivating and it's inspiring to see how committed and dedicated you are. And clearly you're a man with a lot of passion and and not just passion, but you're driven by, you look happy and you look comfortable and you look like you just want to help. And so I think that resonates. Now, what makes your brand Casa Santi Interior Design special, and how does it stand apart from others?
Well, I would start with the name in itself, just celebrating my Spanish cultural heritage, Casa Santi, House of Santi. But the journey of design also led me to realize that I had the challenge of taking someone that was insecure, inexperienced, and giving them a handheld leap of confidence to embrace the unexpected, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and going on a journey of what design is about and how spaces are defined and how they're utilized. That unique talent that I have to connect with people, and my insatiable appetite for design, and continuously always thinking forward and wanting to evolve, I think really sets me apart from, let's say, other designers, other industry colleagues. I take a leap of faith. I look at the task at hand, and I take them on a journey. And ultimately, what I do defines you, my client, the project at hand. My job is to make sense of it all through style, design.
Put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Exactly.
You're the visionary.
Form and function.
So important. And you have your work cut out for you. You have a lot of detail. You have an eye for detail is extremely important, and also blending different patterns and colors and understanding the spatial differences, and really creating that depth and dimension. When you walk in, there's a theme. I love everything you do. I've looked at all your work. Now, you have a lot of stuff coming up this year. Aside from this fundraiser, any other big projects or performances we should know about?
Well, Teatro Gatticello is going to be doing a performance of Don Giovanni in June. You can check out their website. I believe it's like the third weekend in June. And also celebrating the Maria Callas 100th anniversary, which will be doing a production of La Vestale in the fall here in New York at Town Hall. So that's really a great celebratory moment for us at Teatro Gatticello. And also the Kaleidoscope Project, which is a dear project that I'm involved with, which celebrates the BIPOC community, Black, Indigenous, people of color, and designers. We're doing a hotel in High Point, North Carolina this October, and that's bringing over 20 designers together, celebrating culture and design. Those are two big highlights that I'd like to give a shout out to.
I can't keep up with you.
There's one more.
Of course there is.
There's one more. There's an organization in Boca Raton called the Gray Team that is doing a fundraising event at the end of March. I believe it's March 30th. And I came to discover the Gray Team through an opera that I did in Palm Beach this past September. that was about veterans and soldiers. And I mean, how serendipitous was that to be able to use my voice and to connect with veterans, music, veterans.
Oh, this warms my heart. I'm
Yeah.
such an advocate for veterans, especially combat veterans. I'm a big advocate for an organization called heroesandhorses.org.
Yes.
I'll definitely turn you on to that. Now we have about 3 minutes left, and I want to talk about social activism, as if we haven't been talking about social activism
Right.
and advocacy, because clearly that's what you embody. Now you're a member of With It, encouraging and developing leadership, mentoring, education, and networking opportunities for professional women in the
Yes.
home and furnishing industry. And the fact that we celebrate women every day, and the fact that you go out of your way to celebrate women, even when it's not Women's History Month, is important. Why is it so important for you to promote diversity in your field and empower women?
I would blame my mother. My mother was my rock. She was a foundation. She was an extraordinary human being and a force to be reckoned with, but a heart of gold. And boy, did she teach me how to love and lead with that. Women have always been a vital key component of my journey. In design, I was mentored by, I call my designing women and golden girls of design. And some of my best teachers through elementary onto college have always been women. The strength that women endure and have, and as business leaders and in interior design, they're a voice that you can't touch. You have to celebrate. So I have a lot of wonderful, talented human beings in my life that happen to be women, and With It celebrates them. And I chose to take a leap of faith and support an organization and women that celebrates them.
You're going to make me cry.
Well, you're an extraordinary woman. Look what you do, and look at all the hats that you wear. It's wonderful. Why not give them wind? Let them keep soaring. And we're all better together.
Oh, amen to that. All right. Well, now that you touched, you emotionally evoked. Talk about HB Studios, right? And talk about you being able
Yes.
to bring that out in somebody. We're out of time, but I just wanted to thank you so much for coming on. You're such an inspiring human being. So thank you for being you.
Thank you, and thank you for being you, and the invitation to share our journeys, our stories, and celebrate. We need stories like this. We need people like you, and we need platforms like this to keep it going and keep the spirit of what we do, and hopefully smile more and more every day.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much for
you.
coming on. Guys, that was our Business and Buzz segment brought to you by Caldwell Soames. And that was the amazing, the incredible David Santiago, award-winning designer and owner of Casa Santi Interior Design. You could head directly to their website at casasanti.com or tenordavidsantiago.com. You can also check them out on the gram at Somebody Gets Me Santi or Tenor Santi. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Caldwell Soames Incorporated, investing globally in transformative businesses like Original Digital Corporation, or ODC. ODC develops advanced consumer and commercial fintech solutions such as OG Pay, which will transform the way you manage your money. From sending and receiving money globally for free, paying for goods and services in person and online, pay bills, buy and sell digital currencies, all while earning interest. OG Pay is easy to set up, FDIC insured, and your information is secured. Check out ogpay.com.